Hey guys, how's it going? This is Taylor with Depths of Dota. My player name is Dretth, and I just am a Dota player who has been playing for quite a while now, and I just want to help newcomers out, help them figure out the game a little bit more. So what basically we're going to start with is just the interface, how to deal with the menu when you first start up Dota. And so first thing you're just going to see is this page right here. You'll see your player name over here, your profile picture, your current wins, your level, and your current battle points experience, and your chat log where you can chat with different friends. You can see I'm the only one in this team chat right now, so none of my team is on. But when you join parties and stuff, another tab will come up here that says party, and you can switch between tabs and you can talk to your party, yada yada yada. You can also add different channels over here. You just kind of gotta sift through. There's a whole bunch of different channels that people create, and you can do regional channels, and you just join the channel. So that's all fine and dandy. That's not used a lot. I guess it depends on who you are, whether or not you Skype your party while you talk with them, or however you talk with your party. Maybe you do only keyboard chat, which is fine. Not as efficient, but it's fine. So then down here you've got your friends. These are just your Steam friends. You've got if they're playing Dota at the time, this will actually be green, and it'll say like playing Dota, and it'll tell you if they're in a game and what level their hero is, and you can then right click them, and you can actually hit spectate game, and you can actually watch the game they're in. But the game that they're in does have a 2-minute delay, so you can't cheat for them. It's something they thought of course. But and it's also blue if they're away, and it's also blue if they're playing another game. So it's kind of just if you have a lot of friends you want to play with, it makes it really nice. If you jump in and they're in a game, you just spectate their game till they're done, and then you jump in a game with them. But other than that, you've got, this is just a web view, so basically this thing points to the internet, and you've got their blog, so this just keeps you updated on their blog posts. Beta is over. That's awesome. Everyone can start playing, get a whole lot of more people in here. And then you can go over their updates. You can see like their latest updates. They just added Abaddon, which was pretty exciting. If you play All Pick a lot, you'll see him in basically every game for the next week or so. Then you've got International, which is just their tournaments, which actually have freaking huge pots. So the people who win those are very rich people. But yeah, and you can actually buy a compendium for this international, and it's all sorts of fun. I haven't played with it a whole lot, but you get battle point increase with the compendium. Anyway, so we're gonna go over to the store tab right now to take a look at this. Basically, when you first open your store tab, it will look like this. So basically this is what the store looks like, and as we kind of go through these, you can see that there's different sets and they have different prices. $12.99, $15.99, $11.99, and if it's not necessary to buy items, I wouldn't recommend it. Personally, you can get a lot of items just by playing the game, and all the items are pretty much cosmetic, so they're actually all completely cosmetic, so it really doesn't even matter if you have the items or not. Basically, you have the items to look cool. So if you want to spend $15.99 on this cool Pudge set, and so your guy can look cool like while you're killing people, that's cool. But as for player versus player, it has no effect whatsoever. But so anyway, you can click on one of these. Let's take a look at it. You gotta wait for it to load, since it is pointing to the web. Alright, so now we're here, and you can go through the items and look at them, Those are all pretty cool items. This is actually, I really like this set. The guy who made the mask actually has a tutorial on the web on how he made the mask. He's pretty cool. I support this guy entirely. If you're gonna buy any set, buy this guy's set, because I think people who can like throw how they did certain stuff on the web and like not be scared of people to take it or mimic or copy them, I think that's great. So if you're gonna buy a set, buy this guy's set. But anyway, so now what you want to do is, like, you can't do anything with this image and you want to see more of it, you just hit the preview button and you can reload the 3D image of the whole set, what it would look like in game, and you can kind of just click and drag, and it looks like an awesome set. Cool hook. My favorite's the mask by far, but it's pretty nice set. So after you do that, you just add it to the cart. It'll add it to your cart, and just wait a little bit. I don't know why it's doing this right now, but okay. So there's the cart. If I wanted, you can just check out and purchase those items. So, which I'm not going to. So, but anyway, that's basically the store. Next, you'll have your backpack, which holds all your items. So we're gonna go over that now. These are all my items. Most of these, not all of them, I have purchased items in the past, were acquired just from playing games and receiving them either after I leveled up, because you receive an item every time you level up, or you can randomly receive items throughout gameplay. So, you can get a decent amount of items just from doing that. So that's what I recommend. If you aren't that patient, go ahead and buy some sets. It's whatever you want to do. Next, you have your loadout. So, this actually shows all the different heroes. You can kind of click through, and you can also scroll through if you have a mouse scroll. But the most efficient way is to just start typing their name. So if I wanted to go back to Abaddon, I would just type AB. It just goes right back to him. If I wanted to go to Drow Ranger, I would type DRO. Goes right to her. And basically here is where you customize your players with items. So you can customize Drow Ranger, and like as you can see, I've got all these items on her. And some items actually can track certain things. So I've got 28 kills and 3 Roshan kills. This item has transferred from quite a few accounts. So every time an item transfers, the kill counters and the Roshan kill counters reset. And yeah, so basically this is where you add items. Just pick a different bow, and it changes it on her. If you want different boots, yeah, but as I said, they're all completely cosmetic, so it really does not even matter at all. Oh, one more thing I should probably show you while I'm here. Use this hero in my profile. If you click on this is your name. So basically this is going to go to your profile. I'm going to take a little detour just so I can show you this real quick. But if you click on this is your profile. So this is my featured hero right now. It's just Doom. He's my featured hero because I think he's probably one of the most badass looking heroes in this game. But anyway, then you've got your most successful heroes. This is basically the heroes that you've won the most with and lost the least with in a roundabout kind of way. So, actually it's not. I honestly, I don't know how they do the algorithm for this. They've changed it a couple times, but as you saw, Pudge was my second most successful hero, and I've won with him less than I've lost with him. So I've lost with him more. But it looks like it just takes your most played heroes. So Dro being my obviously most played hero, Pudge being my second most played hero, Nature's Prophet being my third most played hero. And so yeah, it should be more like most played heroes, whatever. But anyway, then you've got your recent games, so you can view all your recent games, and it tells you whether you've won or lost or what it was, public matchmaking. It tells you the dates and everything else. You can go to match details to look at the game, and then you can either download the replay if you want to watch the replay, You can vote it up or down if you want to vote it. That was a good game. I'm going to vote it up. It's going to say it has 1 vote. It should all turn green. I don't know. It's supposed to. Looks like it's not going to. Anyway. So you can see what players are on what team, and then you can reveal the winning team. And then you can here look at the stats of the game and like see how everyone did. So, you know, and then you've got what the gold amount you ended with, your last hits, your denies. I had 0 denies that game. I was being pretty lame, I guess. And then you can look at your gold per minute and your XP per minute, and the items you ended the game with, your kills, your deaths, your assists, the hero you were, what level you were, and your name. And yeah, and it says who won up here. It tells you the game mode and the duration of the match over here. And yeah, so it just shows you a whole bunch of good information. And so from there, so if I were to use, and commendations are just something kind of stupid. I don't know. I think they're kind of stupid, but no one really ever commends. So, but you get a commendation every time someone feels like commending you at the end of a game. So if you played really well, or if you were really nice, or if you were really forgiving, like if they were super bad at the game and you just kept telling them like what they should do and like telling them not to worry about it, I guess. And if you were teaching, if you were just helping someone out, teaching them new concepts in the game, and if you're leadership, I don't know, if you were telling everyone what to do, I guess, I don't know. And then aside from that, you've got your profile picture here, you've got your levels, you've got your losses and your wins. From what I found, you know, unless you're super amazing at this game, generally you'll stay 50-50 with your wins to losses ratio. You will win about as many games as you lose. That's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Of course, I do have 42 abandons, which is a huge amount of abandons. I don't know why I have that many, but again, I've also played over 1,000 games on this account, so that's whatever. And then you've got featured items. You can feature items if you really feel the need to. I don't know. This whole part's just kind of. I like looking at most successful heroes, or heroes played, and I like looking at recent games sometimes. But other than that, it's a lot of whatever here. But then you can go to your team, which is this is the team I created a while back. It's just called Distinct Advantage. Created a cool little logo for it. I just have a couple friends I play with all the time. We haven't played a lot of team games. That's something I'd like to do, but you know, it's a lot of time involved with that. You got to get everyone on at the same time. So, and then from here you can go to the team profile and you can look at, you know, your team profile, look at who's playing, go to your game history. Of course, we have none, but that's something I'm going to get into a little bit more later. So, but anyway, so that's your profile. So if I use this hero in my profile, just kind of do, and then it automatically loads my profile, and boom, there she is. So it's just kind of, you know, who do you want? What hero do you want to represent your account? But yeah, it's whatever. And then from here, there's actually show player items, which I should cover. Player items are just generic items that go across every single hero. So like wards, the HUD skin while you're playing, couriers, so all sorts of different couriers that you can use. So whenever you activate a courier, not necessarily when you buy, but if you activate the courier, it'll be your courier. And then there's mega kill announcers, and there's all sorts of different announcers. So they just use the voice acting of a certain character. So whenever someone gets a mega kill, I hear Juggernaut being like, mega kill, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so that's the loadout. You can go into grid view so you can see all the heroes in a grid if you prefer that. I prefer the other method because you can type and quickly get to them. You can filter if you wanted by jungler. This filters all the junglers. You can filter by durable. You can filter by initiator. You want to filter by attack type. You do melee. You want to filter by stats. You filter by stats, so it filters them by strength, or you can filter them by your best. So my two best initiators are Axe and Tiny. It's kind of cool. Filter by your favorites. I haven't favorited any heroes other than Nature's Prophet, just because I was wondering what the heck it was. Or you can filter it by ones you have items for, which I think is a pretty useless way to filter them. Well, I guess not necessarily if you're doing loadout, because then you can kind of come in and customize them, but yeah, no, that's not useless. That's fine. So now we're going to go over the workshop. Workshop, basically you can submit items to Dota to make, to actually implement into the game. And if people buy your item, you actually get money from it. So basically, like, every time people buy your item, you get a percentage of the item that they bought. So this will be probably covered in a different video, just because it's kind of a long process. So alright, now we'll go to the main tab, which is why it's in the middle, and it's the play tab. So the play tab is where you get to actually play the game. So here you can see player activity. If you click on that, it kind of loads a web view, and you can see, where the most activity is. And we got quite a bit over here, quite a bit over there, a lot right here. But yeah, so it's just a cool little map. Tells you how many people are online and everything. It's pretty cool. So back to the play tab, these are the servers that you want to play on. So generally I have US West and US East selected. So if you want to select it, you can't just click on the map. You have to come down here to regions, hit select, and say I want US West and US East, and hit save. And then for language, you want to do whatever language you are. So English, Russian, Chinese, I don't know. Then down here you've got game modes. So you've got all pick, single draft, captain's mode, random draft, least played, all random, limited heroes. So these are all the modes right now. They're going to implement more modes with updates, but as for right now, single draft and random draft and all random are great modes if you don't know heroes. Of course you will suck, but people can get over it and you can learn new heroes. Because the best way to be good at this game is to have a knowledge of what goes on in the game. And the best way to know what heroes can do is to play them. So, that being said, single draft, random draft, and all random are awesome. All pick is great if you want to play the same hero over and over and over and never get good at the game. So, don't do that. But yeah. So, that's usually what me and my friends play with, is single draft, random draft, and all random, because a lot of them are still learning some of the heroes. So that's if you want to find a match with your friends, you just group up, everyone, you invite them to a party. So you right click and you say invite to party, and it would send them an invite. Put a little pending guy right here. Let's do it on this just to show you what it looks like. Yeah. Puts a little pending symbol. He'll get sent the invite through Steam saying like, hey, get on Dota or whatever and come play with me. But he's probably not even on, so he won't ever get that. So then what you've got is you got a bunch of little tabs over here too. So you've got find co-op bot match. So this is basically you get grouped up with some other guy who's trying to find co-op bot matches, and it's just you two and a bunch of bots. You get 3 bots on your team, and then you go against 5 bots on the other team. And it's just you, him, and you just play against bots. And if you leave one of these games, you do get an abandon. But you do get battle points at the end, and you can get items through these games. Find a team match. This would be if you had, if your whole team was online, you could go and play against other teams, and then get a rating for your team, and then play against teams around your skill level. It's pretty. I think it would be pretty fun. So I haven't tried it out yet. I'll dive more into it if I ever do. And then find Compendium match. I actually haven't looked into this yet, but it looks interesting. I don't know. This stuff kind of only rolls around whenever there's an international championship that rolls around, so you know, random stuff just kind of populates and is different every time, but you know. So, and then you've got, so that's matchmaking, that's playing online, and then you've got private games, so find a lobby. This is just like if you want to play with your friends in a private lobby with no battle points, no repercussions for leaving or anything like that. Or if you just want to do something like that. And then you've got create a lobby, where you can actually create a lobby and invite people to them if that's something you want to do. Creating a lobby is kind of fun because you can edit the settings and you can enable cheats and fill empty slots with bots or whatever you want to do. You can choose the bot difficulty. You can choose latest or tournament. If you choose tournament, some heroes won't be available to play because that's just when new heroes are released. There is a pending time before they go into tournament play because they need to make sure there's no bugs or anything with them. If you choose latest, you can play with any hero you want. And yeah, you've got all this other. You can choose the server location, do the game mode. Oh, look at that! They even have mid only. So that mid only would make it so only the middle lane is used. The outside lanes do not spawn creeps. That's kind of a cool mode. So then they've got starting team. It's whatever team you want to be, Radiant or Dire. Spectators. Penalty. I haven't seen these yet either. Huh. Interesting. And so basically what's really cool about creating your own lobby is enabling cheats, and it's mainly for developers, but it's also fun to just go mess around with. What cheats are is you can look them up on the internet. It's like a hyphen and like you type something and basically stuff happens in the game. One of my favorite modes is Wtf mode. So when you enable cheats and you go into the game and you hit enter and you do hyphen WTF and hit enter again, basically there's no such thing as mana cost and there's no such thing as cooldown. So you just go nuts. You can just start spamming Earthshaker's Q. You can just start spamming any power you want as many times as you want. What me and my friend tried to do a lot of the times was just crash our computers by making it too graphically intense for the graphics card or whatever, and so we would just spam Razor's Q, and we would be throwing invokers, meteor balls everywhere, and yeah, it was actually a lot of fun. Closest I got was spamming Razor's ultimate ability, which was just creating rain cloud after rain cloud after rain cloud after rain cloud, and having to do all those rain particle effects started to slow down the game quite a bit, but it's pretty fun. So that's something I suggest. It's kind of cool. Then other than that, you've got practice with bots. So it's just start the game with bots. All party members will join the game as well, and it's you just pick the bot difficulty. It just makes it super easy, and you just go play against bots, and it's a good way to learn. A lot of people, if you're really bad at the game, a lot of people in the game will tell you to go play with bots before you come and play with them or whatever. You can just ignore them. I honestly think the best way to learn how to play is to play with real humans. That way you can actually pick up certain human strategy and different tactics that people do. With playing with bots, they do the same thing. Like they have a really good AI system, but I mean, you can't have as good of intelligence as a human. Like it hasn't been replicated yet, so playing with humans is the best. Then you've got training. This is something new as of recently. Basically, they've decided to do this training thing, and you've got Davian, the Dragon Knight. So basically, you go in, and it's kind of like a storyline type thing. So you go around, and in this one, you have to kill Razor, and they teach you like how to level up your powers and how to last hit creeps, how to buy items from the shop, how to use your abilities effectively, and it's I recommend it, especially if you're completely new to this style of gameplay. If you're not familiar with real-time strategy games at all, I would highly recommend doing these just because they kind of help out a little bit. But so on from that, play with a mentor is something they have pending. Basically, you will play with someone who knows how to play the game really well, and they will try and teach you to play as you're playing. I don't know how they're going to implement that yet. I think it's a great idea, but as for now, we got these, so I highly recommend them. They're pretty good. Alright, on to the next one. We've got Watch, and Watch is just where you can, we'll just go to the beginning. We got events, so people do tournaments and stuff for this game, and there's different events that go on, and you come here to watch live games. So you've got different tournaments. A lot of tournaments require actually tournament tickets to view the live games, but generally with the purchase of a tournament ticket, you get like a courier or something else that's pretty cool, like some package with free items in it or something. But it's watching live games is a great way to learn as well. And so right here we've got live games, and what these it shows you how far the game is, how many spectators it has. It gives you a watch button. It shows you the team, and then it gives you the names of the people on the team and what heroes they're playing. And basically what this little graph shows you is what towers they have down. So this first line is the tier 1 tower. You got tier 1 on top lane, tier 1 middle lane, tier 1 bottom lane, and then you got tier 2 and then tier 3 all the way up until the base, which you've got tower, and then you got ancient. So there's 2 towers protecting the ancient, and then you got the ancient. And so you can see here that this team has tier 1 in the middle lane down, and the other team has tier 1 in the bottom lane down. So it's kind of cool. It kind of gives you like an idea of like how even the teams are. Like this team looks like they are pushing a lot harder, but yeah. Number of spectators, it's probably got to be an interesting game if there's a lot of people watching it. I don't know. It could be that effect where, once one person starts to like go to watch one game and then more people go to watch it, and then you start to get these games with like 50 plus spectators, and then people just start to like flock to those ones for whatever reason, just because other people are watching it. They feel like they have the need to watch it. But then you can filter it by hero if you want to watch a different hero name. If you want to watch a specific hero be played, then you can watch it. It's a great way to learn heroes, and you can filter it by team games if you want to do that. And of course there's 4,011 pages of games, so I'm sure you'll find one that's probably interesting. And then you've got recent games, so these are games that just happened, and then you've got downloaded, so these are games that you've probably downloaded in the past. Yep. So these are games that I've downloaded in the past, ones that I've played. Because there's Praise the Sun. I don't remember what my name was back in these times, unless I was just watching a friend's game, which is very possible. So, yep, and that's Watch. So then we're going to go over to the library, and the library is definitely a great place to learn. The library, you can learn heroes like no other. It's basically like, if you really want to know what a hero does, how they level up, and everything else, this is a great way to learn that. I recommend coming here for all of your hero needs. So if you want to learn Tiny, you just click on him, and it tells you his powers, and it tells you the description of his powers. It tells you what his starting intelligence attribute is, his starting agility attribute, and his starting strength attribute. And this gold ring around the strength symbol means that this is his primary attribute. And it tells you what his starting armor is, what his starting movement speed is, and what his starting attack power is, damage is. It tells you that he is a disabler. It tells you he's melee. It tells you he's a nuker. It tells you he's an initiator, and it tells you he's durable. Now, all of this stuff is pretty much just game mechanics, and I will go over this stuff in depth in another movie that I should be posting next week. This is stuff that a lot of people who even play the game still don't understand, but it's something that I feel will help people play the game a lot better if they knew exactly what was going on. And you can see these plus numbers. This means that every time Tiny levels up, his attribute increments by that much. So you can see his strength increments by 3, intelligence by 1.60, and agility by 0.90. And then down here it gives you a bio. This is just storyline type stuff. It doesn't really matter if you care about PvP. If you kind of want to do like the whole I care about where this hero came from type thing, then go ahead and read this. It's not my ordeal. I could care less. Other than that, you've got stats. So you've got basically how, without any items or anything like that, it tells you what health he should have at level 25, what health he should have at level 15, what armor he should have at each level, what mana he'll have, and what damage he'll have. It tells you his sight range, 1800 during the day and 800 at night, and then it tells you his attack range, 128, which is a normal melee attack range, a little bit more I think. And missile speed, he does not do range, so that is not applicable to him. And then with the ranged, with the abilities, you've got, it tells you his avalanche, and it tells you the mana cost for each time, and these slashes show you as he levels up. So the mana cost stays the same for all 4 levels of it. The damage increases to 180, then to 260, then to 300, and the radius stays the same. Stun duration stays the same. Ability is a point target, and it is magical damage. So, and of course this is all stuff we'll go over when we do the mechanics portion next week. And this is awesome. They have actual embedded YouTube videos of the power being used. So if we wanted to watch this avalanche being used, there it is. So that's avalanche. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so, and they cover every single ability. And this green is for when you have an Eggham's Scepter upgraded. That's an item that can upgrade a hero's ultimate ability, and we'll cover that more in the mechanic video next week. But just so you know, we'll just play this, but items can change your hero's ability. Well, the only item that can change a hero's ability is Eggham's Scepter, so, but that was his grow, just leveling up and leveling up, leveling up. But yeah. So anyway, that's heroes. And then we can go over to items. And items is a big part of this game. It's a really big part of this game. And you can be really good at this game, but the thing that's going to make you really, really good at this game is to know when to buy items in what scenarios. Buying the same generic item for every single game, and just hoping that combination of items is going to work for you, it's not bad. I mean, I do that on some heroes, mainly carries, but a lot of the times if you're playing support and you need certain disables, like a silence or turning them into a chicken, or if you need a BKB to become magic immune, or if you need to do more magic damage and buy a Veil of Discord or not an Ethereal Blade. No, yeah, an Ethereal Blade. Or if you need to protect yourself against magic and need a Hood of Defiance, or if you need some escape and want a Shadow Blade. Like, these are all items that, they all do different things, and they are all something that really need to be dove into. And I will probably do a video just on items alone, just so we can dive really, really well into those. And I want to give a bunch of different scenarios on when items would be used in good situations and all sorts of things like that. So, but yeah, so you can click on an item, see what it does, see how much it costs, see what you need to make it. So this item needs a Mystic Staff, an Ultimate Orb, and a Void Stone to be made. It tells you statistics it gives you, it tells you its cooldown, it tells you its mana cost, and it's an active hex, so it turns a target into a harmless critter for 3.5 seconds, and it destroys illusions. So it is an awesome item, but it is a very expensive one in this game. But but we'll dive into that a little bit more. As for User interface, that's right there. It's not too difficult. And then we got builds over here. And builds are, I haven't really messed around with this yet because I know how I build my heroes and I haven't, built them. Basically, you can just create a hero build for your own heroes here. So you pick Drill Ranger, you type the build you want, and you can add items to it, So you can say starting items, you got Slippers of Agility, Slippers of Agility, Slippers of Agility, and you've got Iron Branch and Healing Salve. And if you'll notice, 603 is your starting gold. So this is the build I use when I played Drill Ranger. And from there, I get my Boots of Speed while in lane, wherever those are. Right there. So I get my Boots of Speed while I'm in lane, and then I get my Gloves of Haste while I'm in lane, and I get my, basically I just get my Power Treads while I'm in lane. But those are created with these items. And then once I have my Power Treads, I go for Morbid Mask, so I can stay in the lane longer. And then after I have that, I either go Crystallis, wherever that is, right there, or I go Shadow Blade, depending on whether or not I am getting ganked, or I guess that's more of a situational item. Crystallis is a core item because of the crit chance. You can do a lot of damage with her with that. And then you got Daedalus, Mjolnir, and basically you can build your own items, and then you can do the ability build and show people how you build her ability wise. So you've got with this I go stats, and then I go that, and then I do stats, and that, and then I do like stats, and then you do that, and then you go that, and then you just stat. What level are we now? 10? Oh, I didn't spend one there at 6, that's why. Okay. So you do that, and then you go to stats, and then you gotta do that, and then you do stats, and then at level 14 you have to spend one here. Then you do stat, until you can't stat anymore, so then you build that one up again, you build that one up again, you build that one up again, and then you... Oh. Keep messing this up. You can build that one up again. And then you just build those up. And basically, this build just gives you a lot of damage really fast. It's great for getting really fat really fast, and a lot of people disagree with it, and there is some cases where it would be better to get your silence a lot earlier on than just level 14. So I don't really care about frost arrows, just because when you're to a point where you can just 3-shot crit one of their heroes, frost arrows aren't necessary. So it's also, you can Roshan with this build at level basically level 11 once you get your second marksmanship. But yeah, so that's the hero build editor. Anyway, and then we've got one more tab. We've got the community tab, and the community tab just it's kind of a new tab. It shows you can go to your team, you can create a new team here, put in different logos, and you can look at the pro team list if you want. I haven't used this tab a whole lot. It hasn't really been a necessity to me. You can leave the party with that button over there. I don't know if I showed you that. And you do have 2 more buttons. You've got the power button, which just turns off the game, you exit the game. And then you've got this settings button. Now this is just all your settings ever. So basically you've got 4 main tabs, and then each main tab has a list of different tabs on the side. So it's all pretty straightforward. You got your attack, move, and these are just key bindings, you know, if you want to do certain hotkeys for certain things. And same here, abilities, key bindings. Of course, we're under the controls tab, so we've got controls, and this has more tabs within this tab, so it's kind of confusing sometimes, but it's fine. And you've got items, player, metagame, and spectator. So now we're going to go over to the game tab, and here you can see, like, if you want auto attack on, I have auto attack on. Some people recommend turning it off just because auto attacking in a lane is really bad, and the only way they can think of, you know, telling people to not do it is to, like, turn it off, which is dumb, but whatever. Auto purchasing items I don't have on just because, you know, sometimes that I just feel like that would get annoying. Auto selecting summon units I do have on because I do not like having to select units all the time. This can get annoying with Phantom Lancer if you are fighting like creeps or something and he keeps creating illusions of himself. The game keeps selecting those units, and if you have the shop open, I don't know why, but it closes the shop every time a new illusion is created. So, but it's just my preference. I like this more. And then you've got allow party invites and all this jazz. Double tap to self cast. I think that's great. And unified unit orders. So holding down control while issuing an order will send it to all units you control. That's also an awesome thing. Then you've got interface. So this is just camera acceleration, camera speed. Shop always uses hotkeys. Edge pan. If you want your screen to pan while you're touching the edge with your mouse, that's what you want. And then you've got all this stuff. Yeah. So then you got network quality, high, low. Yeah. I don't know exactly what that does. So then you got video. This is where you can choose your video aspects. If you are lagging and it's a graphical lag, that you would come here to turn your resolution down. Then you've got advanced, and this is just all stuff you would want to turn off if you were having any graphical lag. And then other than that, you got audio, and you've got your mic, master volume, game volume, music volume, voice volume, just all this different stuff. So anyway, that is basically the Dota menu. And I mean, it took about 45 minutes to go through the whole thing, just explaining it. So it's not super complicated. It's pretty straightforward, but this is just sort of a guide to the interface of Dota 2, and we'll get more into it when we'll get more into the game next week when I actually create a video on the mechanics of Dota 2, which will actually be quite lengthy, I'm assuming, because we're not only going to be diving into like you have to destroy their ancient to win. It's going to be more like when you deny a creep, 36 experience gets shared, or each melee hero within the range of the denied creep gets 36 experience, and each ranged enemy hero within the denied creep gets 18 experience. And it's going to be really down deep into the mechanics of Dota. So just, you know, to let people know and help them become better. I think it's something everyone should really kind of research a little bit. So we're going to go over that, and hopefully everyone will learn something new, and I hope people learn something new today. If you want to watch a game, you just come over here, click watch, and it will just load the game. But yeah, so again, this has been Depths of Dota, and I play random facts that I find out about the game, and you know, my Twitter account is just Dreth. I'll have a link to subscribe to it, probably on the video somewhere. And other than that, you know, just check back next week, and I should have an awesome video on the mechanics of Dota. And you know, have fun with this game. A lot of people get pissed off about it, and I think it's hilarious. So just know if you're getting pissed off, it's probably someone like me laughing at you. But other than that, take it easy and have some good games. Later, guys.